Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to start taking stuff like that until you're at least in your 40s. Welcome everyone to Shut Up and Scribble. Me and Angelo were just discussing his pharmacologic regimen as a
Huge
as
word.
a as a ripe 25-year-old.
25.
So continue with what you started
Yeah.
taking, just so that you can operate and function.
Well, I've been taking meloxicam off and on since I was probably 22. Yeah. And I take it religiously throughout the season now.
Just because like Advil and Aleve are not hard enough, or what?
No, I actually think I could be wrong in my thinking, but I think meloxicam is a little less damaging to your. I think it's your kidney is what it affects. And it's
Yeah,
a little more what?
NSAIDs, non-steroidal,
Yeah.
anti-inflammatory, whatever. Um,
Is that kidney?
those are renal toxic, yeah. So
Yeah.
kidney, and then like Tylenol is not good for the liver. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
typically meloxicam is prescribed, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's prescribed. Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
interesting.
yeah, it I actually think we looked it up that there's like less junk in it. I guess it's like straight up anti-inflammatory than like taking something over the counter. There's just like a little bit of junk in it.
I got you.
But yeah, that keeps me functioning.
So, so what? So what are you gonna move to when you're 30? Like,
Uh,
have you already started with the Voltaren creams and all that stuff? Or
no,
you do stuff like that too?
no. Well, so for my arthritis, he thought maybe I had gout, but my uric acid levels were like normal, and he thinks it's just early onset arthritis. So I'm supposed to get one of those like wax warmers. You seen those things? I don't know. I don't. The he just sent it to me. Paraffin wax.
Yeah.
Paraffin wax. You like dip your hand in the paraffin wax and it keeps your joints warm and it helps ease the pain. So
Yeah, dude, you are a hippie for sure.
dude, I need to be able to use my hand. My hand feels numb.
Dildo, Jared's just happy he won't get interrupted every 30 seconds. That is not necessarily true. We just wait till this guy start talking about the NCC workouts. I use Moxcam for arthritis too, but I'm 57. Lord Wang, there you go. Yeah. Truth be told, I stay out of the comments 100% when I'm on shows. Right now, I'm the host of the show because Taylor is busy trying to win that 25K out in California. So my role is kind of switched. I'm going to basically just tell Angelo right now, though, at any time he wants to click on a comment and address it, he's more than welcome to.
How do I do that? I've never done that.
Can you see the comments?
Yeah, I can see them.
Can you click on them?
No, I can't.
Okay, well, then that's just because I don't know what I'm doing. So just tell me if you see a comment you want to address, and we'll do it.
Okay. Do I have to join the chat? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Never mind.
It's probably just some setting I don't have. Do you coach any classes at Mayhem?
No, not anymore. I really want to. Like, I really want to get back into it. When I stopped coaching, honestly, I just stopped coaching because it didn't make sense when I started working at the fire department. I was there, obviously my regular shift, and then I would get off and I was detailing cars and I was selling real estate at the same time. I was detailing cars more than anything, and that's just time consuming. And I was making way more money doing that, working for myself. So I gave my classes away, and like I never stopped loving it. It just was I was working too much, so I just had to like figure other stuff out. And it just was working better with my schedule because I get to make my own schedule. But no, I think it was either Jake or Josh. I told them that I really want to like get back into coaching classes again. Like even if I'm just a relief coach,
right?
Like a guy who like they can call who doesn't really have any classes, but just can coach every now and then. Like if I could make a career out of coaching classes, I would rather. Yeah, like that would be. I would like to do that. Like I enjoy that so much.
And when you were coaching, were you level 1, level 2?
Level one.
Gotcha. If you decided to get back into coaching, I think the level 2 course is awesome just because it really teaches you how to coach and not just like knowing movement, but actually being able to like cue people and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to pursue a level 3 or even a level 4, you should reach out to someone like Pat Barber, the minimal, the knowledge right there in the middle, right there in the middle. He's actually mentoring Taylor, the thumb, right now in his pursuit for his level 4. Recent sponsor of the podcast. Hit him up. Coaching coaches, and he's about as OG as it gets. So if you're someone that wants to get into that kind of thing, reach out to Pat. Good dude.
Whenever I hear Pat Barber, I think of the Pat Barber rule. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, just gaming it, trying to. Yeah, I'm still waiting for something like that where there's like back to back finale for like 300 points, and they're each scored for 100 points, and you could actually see someone. I mean, because there would be someone probably on the second one that just like didn't really try.
Yeah.
And they have that weird effort rule now and stuff like that.
Yeah, they would have to define it somehow for that workout. They have to. You have to.
Greg, listen, dude, it's you just have to know your role, okay? When the chef's in the kitchen, you let him cook, and the chef is Mr. Self. I'm the server, right? He prepares the food. I take it out to the table. It's all good. But right now I'm just trying to make Angelo feel good so that he can get really, really emotional here in just a little bit.
Yeah, great. That's not what I need.
Celebrex Voltaren cream is where it's at. There you go, dude. You are well on your way to right here.
That sounds good.
All right. So we are going to talk about the Q first, Rogue Online Qualifier. Then we're going to talk about the NorthCal Classic, where Taylor is currently asserting his dominance, winning the first workout, which is a 5.5 mile trail run. He asked me this morning, almost in tears, for some advice on how to strategize it. I explained to him almost to the half mile how he should go about it, and he wins. So there you go.
Nice.
You're welcome, Taylor.
So it's all because of you.
If I knew how to do anything on the back end, it would be nice, but I don't. So we're just going to go through the queue. First off, we know that this gets at least, I think, 5 people to the Rogue Invitational, which will be in Scotland, I believe, the 8th through the 10th of November. So really, really prestigious competition. It's a big deal if you go at all ever in your career. If you go multiple times, it's an even bigger deal. And they have their own kind of scoring system now where it's like a look back at previous Rogue Invitationals, quarterfinals performances, games performances. I think they don't actually take into account semifinals finishes, which is interesting. And I haven't dug into the numbers too much. Yeah. But like last year,
they have a rule. They do whatever they want, right? There is that rule.
There is that rule.
That's cool.
At the bottom. So at the bottom of their explanation, I think it says we're an invitational and we reserve the right to invite whoever we want, which I kind of wish they would have just stuck with. I know a lot of times people just assumed it was the top 10 from that year's games, which I think is a good thing to go off of. And then for the other 10, we can just pick whoever we want. I think that's cool to do that.
Yeah, I like that.
But letting someone earn their way to the competition is also pretty cool. So 4 workouts this year. I think in the past, maybe they've done 5 scores, maybe a 2-part one. But if you want to go ahead and go through the workouts, we will read them off. Angel, if you haven't pulled them up, you go first.
I got them. Yeah, I got them pulled up. That's what I was doing. Workout 1, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, echo bike calories, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, alternating dumbbell snatches, 20-minute time cap, 70-pound dumbbell for the men, 50-pound dumbbell for the women.
Yeah, I was gonna start off with some aggression. I mean, that's kind of the way I think about it. Like, you look at the workout. If they were both descending, it's completely different. If even the calories were ascending, it's still a different approach.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, and you can tell me I'm crazy here. I think Seth kind of disagreed with me yesterday. When you have 50 cals, essentially a 20-second break maybe, and then 40 cals, it's going to de-incentivize going out hot on the bike at all.
Yeah.
Because you're ending with 90 heavy dumbbell snatches with only 10 cals in the middle on the back end. So to me, when I look at the workout, unless you're someone like Jason or Roman or Dallin, and you're literally one of the best in the world where your recovery pace is most people's like hard pace, you don't do anything aggressive on the bike to start the workout.
Yeah. I mean, I'm horrible at the bike. Like, I feel like I'm decent at a alternating dumbbell snatch, but I'm terrible at the bike. So like when I look at it, I'm and in my mind, like I'm only biking as hard as I can to be able to do the dumbbell snatches unbroken because, like a break there. If for me, if I set down anything that's heavy and I walk away from it, like it takes me a little while to get back to it. So like, opposed other than like maybe a single, like a workout that you're gonna be doing singles on. So I don't really want to set the dumbbell down at all. Do you think that's a good strategy? Never set it down, right? You're trying to cycle the entire time. I think you can.
I think you can, but it does raise the question, like, for 30 or 40 calories, what is the difference between 400 and 450 watts? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like what's the difference? So if you break every 10, is that the same amount of time that you would be losing on the bike for just biking a little bit?
Yeah.
Like harder? Like will it kind of just wash out is what I'm saying. Like, can you bike harder and break the dumbbell, or can you choose to bike slower and just go unbroken on the dumbbell? Which one is going to be easier for you?
Yeah. I don't know. Me and Tyler Christoffel have this conversation frequently about like, think about what comes to mind really quick is like the open workout this year. Ben Davidson, I want to say he rode a 152, maybe 150. And I think I rode a 146, and he beat me by a good amount. Like I think he rode a 152 or 153. I rode a 146 or 147, which is aggressive for me. And he beat me by a lot because it just transition. He like made it so intentional to transition fast because of how many transitions were in that workout. Now, granted, there's not as many transitions, but I would consider setting the dumbbell down in the middle of a set like a transition.
And in that workout, rowing for meters versus calories is very different.
Yeah, it is. It's just almost never is it worth going a little harder and being way more out of breath. Like the difference between a 152 and a 146 on a rower. I know this is a different workout, but like that difference is huge. Like that's a zone 2, maybe zone 3 barely, and then like for sure zone 3 maybe tapping into zone 4 towards the end on the row for me. So like I think it depends on the athlete by a lot. Like depending on if I'm going to push the echo bike or the snatches. For me, like I said, I'm not as good at the bike. I'm going to try to hang on the dumbbell snatch the best I can because we did that in quarterfinals. It's a little easier. 50, 30, 20 of dumbbell snatch. And like, I actually do think we set it down once. It was paired with toes to bar though. So that's way different.
Right. Yeah. It's way different. Yeah.
But
yeah. This workout is like really, really, to me, base capacity. I mean, the dumbbell is a moderately light dumbbell, even for 150
moderately
reps.
Light. I would say moderate. Why do you say moderately light?
Well, because I said for 150 reps, I would say it's moderate. At the heaviest, it's moderate for 150.
Yeah. I think it's moderate.
Okay. So
I don't think it's moderate light.
Okay. It's moderate. It's moderate. Moderate. It's moderate. And excuse to the female, don't at me, but they are doing they are doing the same number of calories.
Okay,
so
I like that.
when you do look at the workout, for those of you that are trying to like, when you see who's on the leaderboard and be like, who's going to do great, for the females especially, look for the most powerful athletes on the bike.
Yeah.
Because I do think they can make a move where it's not going to be as beneficial for the males to make a move. Mason Mitchell, this is a good comment. 1,700 cals per hour to 1,850 is 400 watts to 450. So to me, that's pretty substantial when you're talking about 150 calories in the workout.
That's an hour though.
Right. What I'm saying is this concept too, like if you were doing 1,700 cals.
Wait, hang on. Is he saying
rower? He's saying it's like the equivalent to.
Okay. He's not saying that like if I do 400 watts on the bike, I'm going to get 1,700 calories, 450 watts on the bike. Or he is saying that. Or is he saying legitimately if I do 400 watts on the bike for an hour, I get 1,700 calories?
I think he's saying that the difference between 1,700 and 1,850 is the same difference as 400 to 450.
See, that sounds like a huge difference in effort.
It does. Yeah. And I mean, if you're going at 400 versus going at 450 for 50 cals, that's like, you're probably getting off 10 before ish.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty substantial. So Anyway, I know we're getting way in the weeds on this workout. It's a good workout. It's a cool workout. I thought of 17.1 or what 20.2, 21.2, whichever were the year they repeated it the second year.
1.2.
Because you don't see a lot of ascending high volume reps like that. So being able to hold on to the dumbbell, I still think is the best strategy. Once you stop, you're not going to want to start again.
I think so too. I think you might get the hardest pace for you that allows you to almost never set the dumbbell down. The 40 and 50 is going to be rough. It's going to be rough. But yeah, I think that's the goal, even for the best bikers. Like the best bikers just bike a little bit harder and do that same method.
Yeah. Mason says 3 to 4 cals per minute. So that's doesn't seem like that much of an advantage.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
But if you're going for 50 cals, then it will add up, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 50 cals would take 2.5 minutes. At around 400 to 450 would take about 2.5 minutes. So you're looking at a 9, right? Ish 9 calorie. Yeah. I mean that's significant for the first couple sets.
And I would still say that time-wise, cal on a bike is almost 2 to 1 dumbbell snatches. Almost 2 to 1.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna move on to the next workout. That first one, monostructural weightlifting. Yeah, I got it. So workout 2 for time. It's just a chipper, 30 bar muscle ups, 30 overhead squats, 155 and 115. My goodness, that makes me so happy to see. If you're listening out there, there's a certain high-level individual female that gave me a lot of pushback when she did a workout that was 155, 115.
Oh,
and
really?
I said, hey, this is 2024. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
And 30 burpees over the bar. So 30, 30, 30, 90 reps total. Where is the separation on this workout when you look at it? Do you think it's just who can get the set of 30 bar muscle ups done the fastest? Or do you think if you make a mistake on the bar muscle ups, you are not going to be able to do the overhead squats in even 2 sets, maybe even 3? Because to me, 30 unbroken is going to be really tough in that workout. And maybe just be because I'm bad at overhead squats, but I still think a set of 30 after that much hanging is going to be really tough for some people to do.
Yeah, I think this one comes down to who you are as an athlete if you're going to break the muscle ups and have a faster break on the muscle ups, or if you can break the overhead squat and have a faster break on the overhead squat. I would almost say I don't think anybody should do the muscle ups unbroken. I think everyone should break it at least once. Like 2010 is probably actually would probably be a decent way to break it. I do think I could do 30 unbroken on the overhead squats.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe for me, I might go 12, 10, 8 on the bar muscle up to do the overhead squats unbroken, because I know I'll rest more if I drop the overhead squat than if I come down off the bar muscle up. And I think that's probably true for most people because the overhead squats are after the bar muscle up. So if I did 12, 10, 8 on the bar muscle up, I really think I could crank out 30 overhead squats. I might get slow towards the end, but it would be advantageous for me to not drop it and do those burpees that are going to be really hard. Like whenever I drop an overhead squat at that volume, my elbows are wrecked. Like it hurts to get down. The first 5 or 6 is tough.
Maybe that's just your arthritis, though.
You think? You think it's just me? I don't think so. I think it's just me.
I never hear anyone says, you know what? When I got done with those overhead squats, dude, going into the burpees, did you not feel a bunch of elbow pain? Like it was crazy.
No way. Come on. That can't be just me. Dude, when I get on the ground, it feels like I can't get up. It's like I could not get up.
Time cap is so long in this workout for the elites. I definitely agree there. 15 minutes is extremely accessible. I do think just on paper, this is one of those classic examples of a workout that's going to be underestimated. I think you see workout 1 and you really respect it because of the 300 reps, because of the ascending rep schemes on the snatches. But you see this workout and it looks kind of innocent. The fact of the matter is when people get into this, like if you're doing this in your class, 15 minutes is it's probably going to take some people up to that time cap. What's going to be interesting for me to see is to me, this is a discipline workout. And what I mean by that is kind of what you were talking about on the breaks. If you choose to take breaks, is that better than breaking because you have to? And the answer is normally yes. You break because you want to, not because you have to. Because when you have to break, the rest is long. Yeah. When you choose to break, the rest is a lot more, the rest is a lot shorter. I think it's going to be the overhead squat. I think at the highest level, regardless of if you do 12, 10, 8, 20 and 10, 30 unbroken, whatever. I don't think there's going to be that much separation there because it's the first movement. So I think it's going to come down to the overhead squat. Not only, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday with Seth, not only can you do them unbroken or however many sets, but how fast are you squatting? Are you pausing at the top for 2 seconds breathing? Or are you like down, up, down, up?
The more I think about it, I actually think I would probably do 12, 10, 8 on the muscle ups and then 20, 10 on the overhead squats. Because I think I can rep out a good set of 20. And then I know I would start to slow down. If I took a break, I would probably save myself. It would probably be about the same amount of time that I would end up spending at the top when I would just like after, if I spend 2 seconds for each rep at the top is 20 seconds, I had the bar overhead. If I just drop and take a 15-second break and I'm way fresher for those, I do 10 and I drop down and hit the burpees. So I think actually more breaks could be better if, like you said, I think discipline. I think it's a discipline workout. That's good. That's a good quote.
Yeah, and then you get to the burpees, and at that point, sure, if you can jump your feet every time and you're not doing a step up, you can get 3 or 4 seconds on someone, but I think the real separation happens on the overhead squat.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's a good workout, and it's really appropriate for, I think, for the elite levels. Like the weights they picked seem to be right. The chunks seem to be right. Like if this was 3 rounds for time of 10, 10, 10, it's a completely different workout. This is good. Yeah. All right. Workout 3.
I want to see the comparison between the guys and girls on 1 and 2. Like I do think the guys will still win the dumbbell workout.
Because of the bike.
Just because of the bike. Like the dumbbell is easier for the girls for sure, but it doesn't, like, you're not going to cycle it much faster necessarily. And then that one, I think it's going to be like pretty fair, like pretty even.
Travis B. I think a lot of the top guys are doing the overhead squats unbroken, especially given it's only burpees after. That'll be interesting if a lot of athletes post feedback, videos.
Doable.
It'll be cool to see, and how fast or slow that set of 30 is comparatively to someone that breaks at 20-10, like that cycle rate.
I'm almost never surprised that the person who goes unbroken that wins. Like that doesn't happen as often, I feel like, as the person who's like, yeah, I broke like every 5 reps and I beat the guy who went unbroken. Like it's great. I hear that story more often than the inverse one.
Gotcha.
What comes to mind is like the Justin Medeiros at the 2020 games when he did the handstand walk in 5 yards at a time and won. Right? He won that event, or did he take
second? He was second. Yeah, Matt won.
But I think Matt go totally unbroken, beat him by like 2 seconds?
I think he might have broke like the last 10 yards. Like one break at the very end.
I love that. I love to like see a strategy play out like that, and it's like he's hurting so much less by doing that.
And I am really glad that for the most part we never are allowed to dive in anymore. Like you have to start hands behind the line, so it's a true 100 yards or a true 100 feet or whatever. It's not just 92 because you jumped 4 feet forward to finish or whatever. So Corey Leonard, Fraser broke once. Okay. Workout 3. You go ahead and take this one. So we got weightlifting in the first 2 workouts. We've got GWG for the second one. So 2 gymnastics so far, 2 weightlifting, 1 monostructural.
21 deadlifts, 315, 245, 15 cleans, 225, 175, 9 squat snatch, 135, 105, 50 and 40 calorie row.
Look, guys, whoever it is, Josh, Chris, Katie, they get it. Look at these weights.
Yeah.
It's not 315, 225. Definitely not 205. It's not 225, 155. It's not even 165. It's 175. It's not 135, 95. Okay. They do 40 cals on the rower to end, which I do like because they did not do a calorie equivalent for the females on the first workout. But like, this is the one that I want to look at, especially for time, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Because I think it will be eye-opening. Either, it'll be really, really close, and it'll kind of be, like, to me, very indicative to where I think we are in the sport right now. Which, like, you're getting at the highest level, you're getting people that have been doing this stuff since they were really young. I mean, you've been doing it since you were really young.
Yeah.
And especially the females just growing up lifting weights and just being that much stronger than people in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's just it's cool to see these loads. And I would love to ask the programmers why they chose them, who tested the workouts. I think knowing who tests workouts is really cool, especially for something like this high level, because you've got to use people to do it.
Yeah.
And whether it was Josh himself or, Chris himself, or they had people that aren't competing this season, maybe, that are still really, really fit to do it. So when I see this workout, I think it's awesome. I think it's a really cool idea to do 3 different barbell movements in a strength capacity. Let's just call it like a strength battery setting, because after those deadlifts, the cleans are not going to be a gimme. Like the cleans are going to feel a lot harder, especially if you're ripping a big set, which most of them are going to do on the deadlifts. I don't even I look at this workout and don't even know how to approach it. You look at this workout, you have to do it for a qualifier. How do you approach this workout as far as like strategy goes?
Sorry, one thing I will say this. I think the women's weights may have to do with the fact that it's just 35s on, 35s off. You have 3 35s on, you take them off. Or I think whatever it is, you take a 35 off each time.
Anyone who's either doing this or looked in the standards, I wonder if you can use 3 bars or if you have to use 1.
But I think that also played a factor of the women's weights to make it an easy adjustment, just like the men's. Either way, it's cool. When I'm approaching it, well, I'm good at deadlifts, bad at cleans, decent at squat snatch. But the weights are so drastically different on the squat snatch. Like 9 squat snatch and 135 is by itself totally super easy. 15 cleans, 225. I think the whole workout in the middle is the 15 cleans, 225. That's where you gain or lose a ton of time. Like 21 deadlifts, I feel like you're either doing that unbroken or really close to it. The only reason you would break it is like because it's so quick to break. It's the first thing. Like you could take a quick break and get right back on it. Like you won't be taking a break because you have to. You'll just do it because of strategy for the cleans. Then you'll get to the cleans, and I think that's where the bottleneck happens. Like who's going to be close to the bar, who's going to pretty much let it settle and pick it back up. I think singles is the way to go. Drop it, settle it, pick it back up. And then the 9 squat snatch. I think it's fun.
Knowing you have the row waiting for you at the end, though, will inevitably make people go slower, especially when they get to the snatch, because they know it's coming. Like pure pain is coming. Like they're not going to really rush to the snatches just to pull a 1200. I think they're going to go slow and try. Like to me, when you get to the calories, let's just call it a 2-minute on the rower. Like the difference between 1700 and 1400 is massive on the rower. Like, are you just surviving those calories, or are you like building your pace and you're ripping the cows?
When I picture this workout in my mind, I picture Luke doing it because I feel like he would do really well at this. And like, he would probably hit the deadlifts in 2 sets, maybe even 3. He would, and Sam said there's 3 bars. So, and he's like fast singles on the clean the whole time. Squat snatch, maybe 1 break, maybe 2, but then he's on the rower. Like, it doesn't matter what happened before that. He's on the rower. He's pulling like 1500 immediately. 45 calories for someone like him, or someone, I guess, like Roman or Dallin or Jason, like guys who are good on the rower. Like, they get on and they're immediately like 1500 recovering for like 10 calories, and then they're right up to 1800. And that's
so he'll probably be mad at me because he doesn't, he usually doesn't talk about any workouts that he's done or anything. I think needs to just be cool about it. I programmed a workout for Jason right before the games, and to me, like, that's when they're at their fittest.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't right before the games. It was shortly after semifinals, because I really liked that barbell workout that you guys had. That was like deadlift and shoulder to overhead, I think.
Yeah.
Like 315, 185.
Yes.
And I wrote a workout for him before the semifinal workouts came out. So this was probably leading up to semis. That was 45 cal row, 21, 15, 9, 315 deadlift, 185 shoulder to overhead, 45 cal row to finish. So it was like, if they use this, if they could use a workout like this for a strength type workout, and it would separate a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember him after the 21-15-9 just staying at 17 or 18 the entire time. And I was like,
exactly.
what in the world? Like, and
like,
he was hurting coming off the 21-15-9. But it's just
wild
it's
what
nuts
those guys
how they
can recover at. Like even myself, like I know in a competition aspect, when you get on there, you only have 45 calories. Like they start ticking pretty quick. Like you get to 10 calories really quick, and by then you're like, it's 35 calories. Like I can pull on this thing, and I'm not necessarily like, I don't consider myself a good rower per se, but I feel like I would get on and I'd be at 1500 pretty quick, no matter what happened before. So like those guys, I can only imagine what they're gonna be pulling. They're probably getting on there. They're settling in and they're pulling 2000 plus until they're done.
Yeah. This is like, I mean, all three of these, like ending on a set of 50 dumbbell snatch, ending on a set of 30 bar facing burpees, ending on a 50-40 cal row. I mean, it's they're gonna earn it for sure. They're gonna earn their spot, the people that make it. Last workout 4, it is an AMRAP, which we can talk about without going too crazy. 45 double unders, 9 wall facing handstand push-ups, 12 box step overs holding a 170-pound dumbbell, and then 15 chest to bar. A lot like the second workout. This one is not very assuming when you look at it, but then you realize that, okay, let's just, with a transition to the wall, let's just say 30 seconds for dubs, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, which they're going to be going faster than 2-minute rounds. So start to add that up.
Yeah.
So 2-minute rounds, that's 7 rounds. So that's 105 chest to bar. That's 63. And they're going to be going way faster than that.
Yeah.
So the volume is going to accumulate here. But when I look at the workout, unless you have a midline, like whether it's low back or I don't know, unless you're really short, which they're going to a 20-inch box, so I don't think the dumbbell is going to be that crazy. Like I think it might come down late to who can do the handstand push-ups unbroken the whole time.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
That's it. I think that's what it comes down to it.
I think the biggest thing for everyone doing it, no matter skill level, is the transition on and off of the dumbbell to get like where are you going to put the dumbbell that's comfortable that you can hit those 12 without really thinking about like, oh man, this thing's crushing my shoulders. Like, whatever you're doing. I saw him have a back rack on the video. Maybe that's the best, but it seems slow to get it up there. It's a 100-pound dumbbell. It's pretty cumbersome. But I think
would you put it like the open workout with the lunges, step up, strict handstand, push up, handstand walk? Would you put it like
on my shoulder,
or would you put it behind the neck?
Dude, with something that heavy. So much to have on one side.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe the back rack,
getting it adjusted and getting it back there though. I feel
sounds slow. Yeah, it sounds really slow. Are you allowed to leave it on the box, or do you have to leave it on the floor?
I didn't watch the video, but that's why I was joking around. I was saying, well, all those plyo boxes are about to get cracked for us workout. So
yeah, or like hopefully no one would think about using a soft box. I wouldn't think, but like if you do use a soft box, dude, that thing's ruined at the end of this workout. It's like it's flattened out. You turn a 24-inch box or 20-inch box or a 16-inch box.
And last year, they used sandbags, which is the first time I had seen it in a qualifier. I know Crucible used it in a qualifier last year with handstand walk. And I think it's a lot easier for a smaller scale online competition to do that. But I remember weighing it for Jason. It was that chipper with dumbbell step overs and sandbag cleans. So it's interesting that they didn't use a sandbag here. I think just handling it would just be a little bit easier for people to get it on and off of their body. But also too, there are a lot of people out there that have done that movement. I don't know of anyone that's done dumbbell step overs with one dumbbell this heavy. Yeah.
No, I think you're right though. I think even by like rounds 2 or 3, I think you start to notice your shoulders fatigue building. Yes, because of the double unders, wall facing, everything really, I guess, but because of the wall facing in themselves, but also because of however you put that dumbbell up is going to tax your shoulders. Like it doesn't matter where you put it. You can put it on one side or the other and switch sides each round or in your neck. Or, if you want to try to front rack, I don't know. Like any of that stuff is going to destroy your shoulders.
Yeah. It's It's a cool test. It is online qualifier, so you can do it in whatever order you want. I think it's a lot less detrimental because you get the choice and you give multiple days to do it. Doing an AMRAP is fine in a qualifier. It's when it's in an in-person competition and it's not the final event, or it's not a movement that's like, hey, you could push this sled a little bit farther, or you could carry this yoke a little bit farther, and that's why you won. It's like, it's not, oh, this person did 50 more chest to bar and 50 more thrusters because it was a death by. And so because of that, they're going to do poor on the finale. So while I don't think it's great for in-person competition, I think for an online qualifier, it's fine.
You don't think a really heavy deadlift ladder is good for in-person competition on the first day? I seriously think.
No, I don't think that.
I think that might be the biggest miss that I'll say it that the CrossFit Games has ever had. I can't believe that. I can't believe we were going to do a heavy, we ended up doing it, but I can't believe we were going to do a heavy deadlift ladder as the second event of the CrossFit Games. It's crazy.
Yeah, Natalie, I apologize at the beginning of the show. I'll continue to apologize. I'm very much a rookie at being a host. We're lucky that we have the sponsors overlays and that me and Angelo aren't just like on one big screen, or that you can even see Angelo. I'm sorry. I will get tutelage so that I can share the screen next time. So yeah, I mean, pretty well rounded. The fact that there's four and they're qualifying that many people. You've got some gymnastics pressing. You've got gymnastics pulling in 2 workouts. You've got some hinging. You've got some squatting. Like, you got a good mix for sure. There's no single modality, which is probably the way to go if you're going to do a 4 workout qualifier.
Especially a single modality like weightlifting test or even gymnastics test, but anything. It seems like a single modality weightlifting test happens more often in qualifiers than anything else. So I'm glad they didn't do that.
All right. So yeah, we got about 30 minutes. Before we get going, something I thought about when everyone was recommending kratom and a bunch of other holistic remedies for your joint pain, you should just hit up HGR CBD Athletics. Have you ever tried any of the like products like that? Like any kind of salves or anything?
Yeah, I have. And I have tried CBD products, and I actually do think I saw a decent amount of change. I didn't have these issues though. I did see like I was having like tendonitis and stuff in my knees, and I did see like some change for sure. So it wouldn't kill me to try.
Yeah, head on over to their site. We'll try to get you some stuff to try out. Really does work well. Taylor's been using it on his knee for freaking months, and he's going to need it when they do that Kalsu workout as the last workout on Sunday. He was throwing around the idea of doing the road qualifiers on Monday after competing
I
this
heard
weekend. And when everything came out, he called me last night and said, there is no chance that after that Kalsu workout, I'm going to do any online qualifier on Monday. But we'll shift gears a little bit to the NorthCal Classic, which is going on right now. Tudor Magna, Colton Mertens, our very own Taylor Self in the field. Taylor did win event 1, which was a 5.5 mile trail run. I don't know where anyone else finished. I keep refreshing. If you go to Competition Corner and you're listening and you want to actually look at the workouts as we talk through it, that's probably the best place to go. It doesn't look like the leaderboard is finalized, but we're going to go through the workouts. There are a lot of them, which is customary for NorthCal Classic. And they are very unique, which is also par for the course with this competition. It's for 25 grand, which makes me very jealous. Any of you, Yeti, Assault, if you're looking for little people to sponsor for big prize purses, please hit me up. We're always looking for more ways to give more money, honestly. So a lot of the athletes that are here are actually coming to Crash, which is cool. So I'll get to see some of them just in another month.
I can't get into this.
Okay.
Or workouts.
All right, I got it.
Okay.
So yeah, event 1, and I'm pretty sure that the events here are in order. I talked to Taylor's wife, Liz. She said that the other 2 scored events that they're doing is the gymnastics complex, which a teaser was posted for. We'll go through that. and then the handstand walk workout. We'll go through that. And there's only like a 1 or a 2 minute rest in between those two. So it's a 1 minute rest after the bar complex before the handstand walk workout.
Yeah, they're going to need it. That workout's exhausting.
If you didn't know, that's sarcasm from Mr. DeChico. So we're going to see. We're going to see where this takes us. It might be a wild ride, everybody. All right, let's go through the floater.
Oh, this is the...
First of all, NCC is not being streamed as far as I know. I know Sevon's there, Hiller's there. A lot of people are there. They keep saying that there isn't a way to watch, but hopefully they'll keep updating us. I'm sure Sevon will be doing live shows with Taylor every night to kind of recap the day. You said Crash will be live streamed, right, Natalie? Yes, it will be streamed. So you will be able to watch that. All right. We know the trail run. Let's go to the floater, which those of you that don't, there are a lot of people that don't even know what a floater is. And that just shows you how long floaters have been around in the local comp world. A floater is a workout that you do basically whenever you want, or that you sign up for sometime throughout the course of the day or the weekend.
Yeah.
The floater, there is a floater workout at the NCC, and it is the Shaolin bucket hold. And essentially what this is it's 2 wooden pails that you could imagine maybe carrying water in. If you were anyone that's seen The Last Samurai, think about something like that. It's kind of what it looks like. There's going to be 15 pounds in each bucket.
Okay, it's not water in the buckets, right?
No, I think it's just weight. It's some kind of weight. And you're going to sit down, crisscross applesauce for any of the parents out there, which is also
was it really? I thought
which
it was
which is also called Indian style for some people. You can sit either crisscross applesauce or with your legs straight in front, because I watched the briefing last night, and you're just going to hold the buckets to the side, and you're going to hold them until one of them touches the ground or both touch the ground, and that your score is your time. So let's think about Greg Glassman way back in the day, right? And he's talked about a lot of things, like he talks about isometrics being really, really important. All right. You have an L-sit hold. You have bar hang, maybe chin over the bar hold. You have handstand hold. Tell me why, Angelo, that this is not or should not be part of a test of fitness.
I don't have a problem with isometrics at all. I really don't. I think it's too gimmicky. It's just too gimmicky. Like, you can test a nice isometric in a lot of ways. Like you said, L-sit is great. Even like a chin over bar hold isn't terrible. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking it is, but it's just so gimmicky. Like, that's all there is to it. It's just a gimmick. It is cool and maybe interesting for someone to watch, but I mean, I don't know.
All right, so here's the thing that we talked about this on like a prediction show one time. At the games, you have all 40 athletes on the floor. They're doing an L-sit hold. They're doing an L hang hold, whatever. And you put like a PVC pipe on their thigh so that when their legs drop, the PVC just falls. And you're watching it and you're like, who's going to drop first? Who's going to drop first? Like if you watch, what's it called? Fit 100 or whatever, the show on Netflix, when they have just hanging from a bar, however you want to hang from it until everyone falls into the water. And it does get exciting later on when it's down to like 1 or 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
So this is a floater, which leads me to believe they all had to sign up for a time. No one's going to be going against anyone else.
Yeah.
So if they could do this in like a big heat of everybody, I think the crowd would get into it, and it would might sound odd, but it would be fun to watch when you see people start to struggle. And you're like, ooh, look at him. And you know how it works. It's like one person drops, then everyone starts dropping.
Yeah.
Because you're just waiting on the first person to break.
Exactly.
And when the first person breaks, so yeah, I don't know. I know just from talking to people who are really close with Blair and Ben Alderman that being really like OG grassroots local comp feel is important to them. Okay. And it doesn't get much more grassroots than a floater.
Yeah.
I think if everyone's not doing the workouts in the same order with about the same amount of time to rest in between, and it's not kind of arbitrary where you can do a workout on a Friday or you can do it on a Saturday, then when you're given 25 grand, it's a little bit of
25 grand. That makes it way different. That makes my opinion on it way different. Like it makes it way worse.
So you think the programming should also reflect the prize?
I think absolutely. Yeah. I think like absolutely. Yeah. Because like the more that's at stake, the more important it should be in my mind. Like there should be more stress on making it and I'm not necessarily even saying that that's not well balanced. The only thing that isn't well balanced is, like you said, you can schedule when to do it. Like if I'm going to schedule to do it before the trail run, like let's say I think I can really win that one, and I know that after the handstand walk, like I'm not good at handstand walk, I'm going to be a little shot after that. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to do it first, and I'm going to see if I can hold, just get biggest hold, and then go for the trail run, and maybe a few hours later when I do the handstand walk, maybe I lose one place on that, but I gain 2 or 3. But then also, what if I know I can win it, and let's say I hold for 10 minutes, and the second place holds for 4 minutes, and I had no idea, and now I'm destroyed because I did way too much work than I needed to.
Sure. And I mean, think about doing it right now versus doing it after the handstand walk. Like you any kind of shoulder fatigue is going to compile in the whole competition. And yeah, is it going to be the difference between seconds? Probably. But I bet the difference between seconds is going to be places. Like there will probably be an outlier that is really bad at it and an outlier that's amazing at it. But chances are there's going to be a huge bottleneck of guys and girls that are like within 10 seconds of each other. Sure.
Think about this. What if you had to do it after you did 8 toes to bar? You may not be able to.
That's a great segue into passing the bar, which is the next workout. So those, again, I apologize. We cannot show you this workout. You can go to Instagram if you're not on your phone right now and watch this complex being done in a teaser video. Every minute on the minute for 8 minutes. And I verified this with Taylor last night because I was a little bit confused about the format.
That's what I was trying to watch a live stream.
Minute 1, you do a toes to bar. One toe to bar. Toes to bar. Are you a toe to bar? Are you a toe to bar or toes to bar guy?
I'm toe to bar. I don't.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't.
That's Darren's fault. Darren does toe to bar, and it.
Oh, T-Bird, you're a saint. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this up there.
Yeah, perfect.
Minute 1, you do 1 repetition of a toes to bar. You rest. At the start of the next minute, you do a pull up. You do a toes to bar and then a pull up.
Yeah.
Rest until the next minute. So you're adding a movement each time. And then the movements go toes to bar, chin over the bar pull up, chest to bar pull up, bar muscle up, bar pull over, back hip circle, front hip circle, and then max consecutive drop kips for the 8th minute. So that would be same way of saying unbroken. So on the 8th minute, everyone just hangs until they can't hang anymore.
So it's basically 5 minutes of nothing, 3 minutes of decent work, or 2 minutes of decent work, and then 1 minute of like hanging on the bar for a full minute. I mean, I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't be serious when we have $25,000 on the line. I was talking to my wife today, and she doesn't really understand CrossFit all that well, but she understands 1 toes to bar is too easy. I go, think about it. These are guys who are better than me and who are competing for $25,000. Minute 1, they're going to do a toes to bar. Minute 2, they're going to do a toes to bar and a pull up. And she doesn't do CrossFit. She doesn't really, other than like a regular workout of the day, she could do up to the bar muscle up, and she like is just like a regular person. So like I don't understand.
Yeah, the movements do get harder as you go, and I don't know this for a fact, but I imagine they are using something similar for the other community divisions. They do get harder for sure. Bar muscle up, pull over, people have been doing for a couple years now, ever since they made a debut at the games. Not for the first time. Chase, I know they were in the first O course. Don't if you're in the comments, don't even do it. The second time they're ever programmed at the games for bar pullovers. Back hip circle is definitely harder. The front hip circle is what I've seen give a lot of people trouble, especially people like John Young, giving him trouble to where he might not be able to have a second child even if he wanted to. You need to stay off that movement, buddy. And then the drop kips, the female who's doing them in the video makes them look really easy.
Yeah,
they are not that easy. I've talked to a gymnastics coach, and she said, like, how good is your L sit? That's like a good predictor of the drop kips because it's a ton of midline stability. But let's just say they did this in a different way. So let's say that they did whatever, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know, of reps, whatever. And it was a different format. Do you like or dislike progressing the pull-up bar skill to other things? Or do you think we have enough and a bar muscle up or a burpee bar muscle up is about all we need to do?
Like using these movements, like the drop kick, like bringing that into CrossFit. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it's out, just like
basically flips. Just call it flips. That's kind of what it is. It's like a flip over the bar or flip. I
mean, I don't whatever. I actually said this. Where was I talking about? Anyways, I don't think that it's any of this stuff is wrong or bad. Like, I think if you go, there's a lot of these things in, well, I mean, you said flip, so that's all in the 100 words, fitness in 100 words, all that's in there. So I do think it all has a place. I don't think that these have a place within an 8-minute window. Like, or within the way that they are done. Like, even what you said, the 8 down to 1, or that one's the max reps, and maybe you do a 90-second window and rest 3, 90-second window, 90 seconds off. You do that 3 sets, and whoever has the most drop kips at the end wins. Mm-hmm. I feel like that could be a decent way to do it. It's very similar, and you're only making the skills at the end a little harder. Like, yeah, like you said, maybe the back hip circle, the front hip circle. I don't know. Maybe you do those. Do need to be just one of each. I just think the structure of this test is, I don't like it. I mean, it's fine, whatever. But for $25,000, I do not like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very I would call it like a polarizing idea.
For sure.
Where like we're trying to add new movements, multiple new movements, 3.
Yeah.
And from a programming standpoint, we start the competition off with single modality monostructural, single modality gymnastics, and now after a short rest, a 1-minute rest, they're going to do another single modality gymnastics. Yeah. So that's just something good to
single modality isometric weightlifting. Would you call that weightlifting?
For the floater, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it's technically on there. So yeah, the first 4 things. I don't know. Do you call this single modality?
Yeah, I think it's single modality, but not single movement, because it's only one modality. It's gymnastics.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not
everything else is single movement.
Like triple threes is still single modality, even though it's 3 movements. That's kind of how I I put it in that bucket. So handstand medley is the back-to-back. Yeah. And it is a 10-foot handstand walk forward, 10-foot handstand walk backward, 20 backwards, 30 backwards, and then 40 to finish. So in total, it is 160 feet of handstand walking, 3-minute cap, which is, it sounds aggressive, but like, to me, guys like Matt Rattay, Tudor, who are just known at being really, really not only good on their hands, but fast on their hands. This is like, I mean, there's going to be guys that probably do this in around a minute, honestly.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds. I don't know what the break requirement is. Are they doing just keep going to a farther tape line, kind of like they did at semifinals? And the distance just gets longer and longer away from the rower? Is it going to kind of be like that? Or is it going to be like they're doing everything in 10-foot chunks? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how it's going to be laid out.
Is it I would think it would be a 40-foot floor. You go 10 down, 10 back, 20 down, 20 back, 30 down, 30 back.
and
40
then 40
down, 40
to
back,
40.
and then finish, and then run down and finish, maybe?
There is no backwards 40. So it ends on a
Oh,
front
there
40.
isn't. Okay.
Yeah, it ends on a front 40.
Oh,
So
okay. So yeah, that would still make sense. You
yeah.
would finish and just run across. So yeah,
So,
that
so very execution based,
yeah,
very speed based too, and
definitely.
just skill based, because there are going to be people that just can't pick up on this, that have never done it before, and they're just not able to do it. Like, fact of the matter, like a drop kip, like a crossover double under, if you've never done one and you're just not someone that really adapts to new things well, and you need a lot of time to practice things before you can get it, then you're just not going to succeed. And
Yeah.
I mean, geez, with this is another like super tight margins. Like one drop kip is going to be a lot of spots.
Yeah.
I wonder, on the previous workout, the first part, I guess, of this back-to-back, what's the tie break? Is there a tie break? Because like I mean, you would have to think there are not going to be too many people that are getting 10 more drop kips than everyone else.
No, not in a
I imagine there's just going to be a lot of ties.
Yeah, not in a minute window. Like, especially with that amount of buy-in, like, how long is that going to take? I mean, is it 30 seconds before you even get to the drop kips, or close to it? Maybe, I don't know.
I think if we could pull it up and share the screen, we could watch her do it. But I want to say that like 30 seconds or so is
I would
how
think,
much.
yeah, maybe a little shorter. All those movements, if you're proficient at them. But that girl in the video is really proficient at them.
Right.
So if you're proficient all that, yeah, I guess maybe you get like 30 seconds or so, and then that means. Am I done when I come off the bar? Did you see that part? Am I done if I come off the bar, or for the rest of the minute I can
think it does have to be an unbroken complex.
Okay. So yeah, you're right. It's gonna be a bottleneck, probably at like, I would think, I don't know, 7, 8, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think, like you said, I don't know how many people, a lot of people don't train LSIT enough, for sure. So then I would say almost no one, maybe 1 or 2 people have even done this movement, like, to add on to an LSIT. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's going to be a huge bottleneck there. I think the handstand walk has a bottleneck. If you have that skill, like, backwards handstand walk is still one of those things, like, if you have it, you're good. If you don't, like, you're going to be left in the dust and you're not going to finish in the cap. Like, I don't know that I would finish in the cap.
Yeah, I think it would be tough. What about judging standards in a competition setting? CrossFit Jigsaw asked. The standards will be interesting to see if everyone can keep track. For me, I think what I think about doing, because I know when the judges judge handstand walking at Crash, I will tell them you need to either lead the athlete or need to stay behind the athlete, but you never switch positions. So like if you're trailing them on the way down, just trail them. Yeah. And then on the way back, you can lead them. You never have to get behind. You never have to move your orientation, because they're going to have to go back and forth. So like when you're doing a backwards handstand walk, though, if someone does it unbroken, like being able to see both hands, I guess, on one side of the line before they switch directions and come back, AKA doing it unbroken, like going down, coming back
across the line, not coming down.
Right. I think that might be where it could get tough to watch. And obviously, if you're judging someone that handstand walks really fast, that's just going to make it more difficult. But
yeah, for sure.
It's not a ton of handstand walking, and the lanes on the Instagram live yesterday looked pretty wide. So I don't think you'll have people running into each other or anything like that.
I don't hate this event. I don't hate that handstand walk event much.
And listen, they did it last year. Like, I talked to Taylor last night, and he said, I am kind of mad at myself, because typically competitions revisit certain things, especially if they're unique elements. And they did this last year. They did a backwards handstand walk with pullovers, I think, in the same workout last year. And he was saying, like, I should have been practicing this more.
Yeah.
But I just didn't, because I thought I would be fine. And now that I know I have to do it, I kind of wish I would have just, like, I did my homework, but I didn't follow through with it, basically. So there's another back-to-back. So now we have lifters who run and runners who lift. So lifters who run is 5-minute window, 400-meter run, max snatch, as many attempts as you want, power or full. And then right after that is a 1-minute window. Then you have to load your bar to a clean weight, and you do runners who lift, which is 10 squat cleans into a 400-meter run for time. I don't know what the scoring is. I don't know if it's 50-50. I will say that on the bar complex and the handstand walk, to me, that's appropriate for a 50-50. I
Yeah.
do not think it should be 100-100, because it's back to back and it's only testing gymnastic skills. I think it's really, really appropriate to score that like a 5.5-mile run is. I don't think you should score it as a 200-point back to back.
What about the bucket then?
To me, that's a 50.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think so too, but I don't think you're right.
So I wonder if all of these workouts, I don't see it here on Competition Corner. I wonder if all of these workouts are 100-point events, like all of them. There is a lot of points up for grabs, which is cool because I think most athletes would say they want more tests versus less.
Yeah, especially when you have some of these tests, like these single modality tests. Like, yeah, you still have to have a decent amount of tests following those.
245, 165 is the squat clean weight.
For elite.
Do you think there will be, regardless of what they can snatch, there will be people that game the snatch a little bit to go touch and go on the barbell just to try to win the second part? Because most people are just going to do singles at 245 and 165. But do you think there's going to be someone that's like, I think I can win this one, because everyone's going to try to be maxing their snatch. They don't have a minute to recover. So no one's legs are going to be super fresh. Should I just take a low finish on this one and blow it out of the water on the second one?
I don't think so. I don't, because I think the same athlete can do good on both. Like, I feel like if you have a decent snatch, even if you want to say, I'm not going to go that hard, like, and I'm just going to snatch whatever that is for that person, like a 225 or 240 or 245, like something like that. Like, if a 245 is like your chilling weight, you're going to get at the 245 squat clean, and it's going to probably be not that hard. I think, you don't think anyone does any touch and go with the squat cleans?
I think some people will, but like, if you're Colton, you know you can already cycle faster than anyone. So what does going touch and go do for you?
I don't know. I think some people.
Colton is going unbroken on the squat cleans. I hope Colton does that just because he's a showman, and I think it would be cool if he did.
Think he can. I think he can go unbroken just fine, honestly, and run pretty quick.
It'll be interesting to see how many choose. Like, Tudor's crazy strong too.
Yeah,
will he try to do something like that? So, yeah, I don't know. It is a semifinals 2023 feel, right?
Definitely, yeah.
800-meter run into a max snatch, and then 10 snatches into a 800-meter run.
I thought it was that workout for a minute until I saw the squat cleans. And
it is cool that they're changing the lift, I think. But again, too, like, you use a snatch in this setting, you're probably not going to see a snatch again. We will, but it's a kettlebell snatch, so it's a little different, right?
That's different for sure.
You're using a squat clean only for 10 reps, so will we see it again?
Yep.
You're using all the typical gymnastics pulling movements in one EMOM, so will we see them again? Like, we won't, right? There are some rope climbs and there are some ring muscle ups, and that's a good thing. But it's a choice that you make, right? It's a programming, like, I would call it a risk, and I am all about some risks because I know I've programmed some things that I haven't seen anyone else do, and it's pretty nerve-wracking that people are just going to say they hate it. But I mean, if it's your creativity, so that's the thing about programming. The person who writes it doesn't not think it's cool.
Yeah,
you're always going to think what you do is cool. You wouldn't do it if you didn't think that. So it's super subjective, which is fun about it, because it is kind of like art. Some people can like a poem, some people can hate it, some people can like a painting, some people can hate it. Yeah. That's just the way it goes. So
how many pegboards did we do at Crescendo? 20 or 30?
As a team?
As a team. Can't remember. Was it 20? Oh, it was 2 sets of 20 is what it was. 20 in the front, 20 in the back, right? Or am I wrong?
No. Individuals did 16 one year, and then with the Zurcher last year, they did like 8 and 6. You guys did.
Was it not 20? And then
it was 20 and 20. So if you split it, each person did 20, which is not the case, because I know there are some guys that did like probably 15 of the 20.
Is that one of the things you're talking about, like I feel like that's a risk.
No, I don't think pegboard is a risk because it's been around since 2015.
No, I think, no. I think you're right, but I don't think not anybody. Very small group of people train pegboards at that volume.
I think a lot of people, though, know that at any time they could be at a semifinal because they've been around for so long.
Yeah, no,
and I would argue that they are a movement that has a ton of carryover, and a lot of people push back on me, but I think that for midline, I think for scap, health and just like stability, I think for legless rope, I think they have a lot of tactility. I think they will help people that have upper body pulling deficiencies. I don't think it's just a cool thing to see. Like, I think
has more transferability, the rock wall.
I really thought we were going to get some kind of climb.
I really think I think it transfers the most.
And I could see Rogue doing it. I mean, you're the one who sent that to me of all those holds being out of stock. And if anyone, I mean, that's one thing I really like about Rogue is that they will try to do some cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, this is probably going to be our first disagreement. Sailor's Revenge. The workout is 200-meter swim, 200-meter farmer's carry, and then 12 seated pulley hoists.
What is that?
So basically, if you've ever done a Spartan race, you get to a point where you have a rope and it's attached to a sandbag, and you have to sit down and you have to pull the sandbag up all the way to like a scaffolding or something. And when you hit it, you can lower it down to the ground. And that's like a rep.
Okay.
So
it's just like a hand over hand pull straight.
Right. It's like I call it a Hercules hoist. And okay. I'm going to be fully transparent here. I have strongman throw bags already purchased, and I have a bunch of nylon ropes. Eventually, I was going to do this movement at Crucible where like my 15-foot ropes hang from. And it was going to be like thruster, 3 Hercules hoists, thruster again, 2, thruster again, 1. And you were going to attach a heavier bag each time to the thing. It's just like another hand over hand pull variation. Yeah. And I think aesthetically and like from a spectator standpoint, from an excitement standpoint, like is someone getting all the way top and fail and their bag's just going to fall? Like you would get that in the same way you would get is someone going to fail a legless rope climb. So I really like this movement. I will definitely never do it though, because I think they should have their shine and they should just be able to showcase it. But
50 pounds, why is it in kilos?
I don't know, but that's a 53 and a 35. So
oh, is that kettlebell? That might be why.
Yeah, and the way that they briefed it is you basically used the kettlebells that you carried. Wow. You use one of those for your hoists. So while I don't think anything that you get on the ground to do is super aesthetically pleasing, like I think the seated legless rope climbs, some of the reason why people didn't like it is because you're just like rolling around on the ground, like sitting there resting.
Yep.
And it just doesn't look super athletic.
Yep.
But like it is a lot harder, and it is different. So I like this. The only question I have is they picked 2 grip intensive movements coming out of the water soaking wet. So was that on purpose?
Yeah.
Or was that just like, it'll be fine. Their hands will just be a little bit wet. I'm sure they thought that too.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that the farmer's carry is going to be after a swim. Granted, it's not a super heavy weight. I told Taylor, though, you swim as hard as you can swim, because to me, that's the separation in the whole workout.
Yeah. Yep. He's a good swimmer too, right? Really good swimmer.
A great swimmer. Yeah. Really good.
Yeah. So I think, I don't think you save anything in the tank. You think you'll be fine for a farmer's carry. Actually, you might be even in better shape than if you were to run, because I think like the swim will allow a lot of blood to the upper body, and it won't really blow you up per se. Maybe the lats, it will blow the lats up a little bit. So when you get to the seated pull, I think it could be sneaky hard when you get there, but it won't affect the farmer's carry other than the wet hands, in my opinion. And then 200 meters with those weights is nothing. It's a it's a jog. You're jogging, unless like I'm not picturing them having it being slicker than I think. And then I think it will come down to a race on the pulley pull.
The hoist. Yeah, you did have to. He used the pull-up bar,
Yeah.
and like 1 rep is up to the pull-up bar, and then so you
Oh,
basically go up until a tape line crosses, and then you lower down, but you have to control the descent. So
oh,
it's like a hand over hand legless
yeah.
rope
It's like
climb where you have to control descent. So you shouldn't see any like kettlebells crashing into the ground. I'm sure that will happen though, just
Yeah.
because people's grip will go, and I wonder if there'll be a penalty for that, or if they just have to start the whole rep over again.
What
I'm sure they will.
kind of rope?
It looks like the same like white nylon ropes that I have from Rogue.
Hand
That's
over
what
hand.
they look like.
Okay.
Like 1-inch ropes, maybe. Next workout, T-Bird is on top of it for us. Thank you very much. We see kettlebells again. So you see kettlebells in back-to-back workouts. So you have 21, 15, 9 burpees over the kettlebell, 9, 15, 21 kettlebell hang snatch. This is with a 70 and a 53. And then 1, 2, 3 rope climbs.
The amount of kettlebells in these 2 workouts screams grassroots for sure.
Yeah, this is a lot of hands for sure. There was a lot of hands and a lot of grip in the previous test. Again, I imagine that's purposeful, that they want to test these 2 things back to back because they know they're going to interfere. I wonder how much time is in between the 2 workouts. When I see the workout, I think it's a cool rep scheme, going up on one thing, going down on the other. I think if the kettlebell snatches were dual kettlebell snatches.
Oh, it's not dual. Okay, it's dumber now.
Then I think if the kettlebell snatches are dual and even lighter, like 53s and 35s, because there's only 6 legless rope climbs, or 6 rope climbs, I think it already gets a lot better.
I wonder if they're taking into account how hard. Maybe the what is the sailor pulley thing called? What are they calling that?
They're calling it a pulley hoist. I call it pulley hoist, whatever.
I wonder how much that does affect. Like, we could have no idea how much that affects this workout. I don't think there's enough rope climbs no matter what. I think they should have changed one or the other to have more rope climbs in this workout. But yeah.
Yeah. And the name of the workout's called Burn Victim. That maybe alluding to everyone's hands for sure. Speaking of burns, speaking of fires, you never want to put yourself in a situation where you don't have what? Insurance. You need an insurance guy called Patrick Mitrovich from State Farm. Patrick at sfpatrick.com. If you're in North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, personal insurance, business insurance, Patrick's the man. Triathlon enthusiast, CrossFitter, super fit guy. Really, really supportive of Shut Up and Scribble. First sponsor, I believe, of Shut Up and Scribble, first or second. And also going to be sponsoring Crash Crucible. So shout out to him.
Yeah. You can get.
Do what?
You need all the help you can get.
You're right. I do need all the help I can get. Money for event wins at Crucible, which is cool. Oh, so if like Colton comes and sweeps, right, he can walk away with like 10K.
Wow,
which is nice.
What is it for the event win?
$250 for event wins.
Nice.
Yeah. So more earning opportunities, more opportunities for someone to not only have a great P score on a workout by destroying the competition, but also walk away with, I don't know, a few nights of their Airbnb paid for. JR, if you had an opportunity to program one event at the CrossFit Games, what day would you select and what movements would you do? I'd probably pick the final day, even though that's when everyone's a little bit beat up. And I don't know. I would stay up late at night trying to think about what movements I would do at the games. But I like to think I would try to come up with something that hasn't been done before, just because I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But also not weird and too gimmicky, which is tough. What about you, Angelo? What do you think?
Probably Friday night. I would choose working on Friday night because I think Saturday night, a lot of the times I like to have a heavy lift, and that's not really what I want to do. Friday night, I think of, oh gosh, you're going to wreck me. It was push-pull Friday night. No, it was Saturday night. Push-pull was Saturday night.
Yeah, because that's when Rich finally took the lead, and then,
That's what I think of. The triangle couplet in 2015 Was that Friday night? No, that was Saturday night. Yeah, that was Saturday night as well. I guess Saturday night it is. All the workouts I like are Saturday night. 15,
cool.
10, 6, right? That's that. I know that's
What
Saturday night.
What movement?
What movement? What do you mean?
What would you program? What movement would you program?
Oh, I guess it comes down to the whole test, right? I mean, just I have free reign.
But you don't have you have a favorite movement though that you would
ring
probably
muscle up, ring muscle up.
Yeah.
So I'd probably do something with ring muscle up. Maybe.
I do wonder if whoever's programming the games will bring Amanda 45 back because we didn't get to see a repeat of it.
Just change it. Just change it a little bit, please. I mean, it's just
Angela's a big fan of the core methodology of measurable, observable, repeatable. Big fan of the last point. Patrick got me 1 million liability and 0 deductible for my auto when no one else would insure me after 4 DUIs. That is a great testimony.
Yeah. Are we missing anything else on the workouts, or is that no? We're missing one more.
Yeah. So, Sailor's Revenge, burn victim, back-to-back ropes.
Yeah.
And back-to-back kettlebell, and then we finish with NorCal, which I think is a cool name. NorCal Classic, Calsu. Calsu is a super famous workout. Those of you that don't know what it is 100 thrusters for time at 135 and 95, but on the minute you have to do 5 burpees. So this is a variation of that where you have to do 100 thrusters for time, but on the minute you have to, I would call it a penalty. You can call it a buy-in if you want, of 3 muscle ups for the first 3 minutes, 2 muscle ups for the second 3 minutes, 1 muscle up for minutes 7 through 10. So I guess technically I think it's a 10-minute cap. There is. So strategy-wise, do you still come out big even though the buy-in is bigger because you know you're not going to get any more recovery? You know your triceps and shoulders are going to get smoked the longer you wait. Yeah. But do you slow play it to wait until the 1 muscle up minutes? Because I don't think you really can. I think at that point, if your placing is wherever you're at, like you're not going to gain a ton of reps on someone.
No.
After you've done 60 thrusters. I don't think.
I think this workout more than a lot is probably determined is determined a lot by your thruster capacity, which you can't change the day of. Like thruster capacity, tricep capacity specifically is decided a long time ago. Like, yeah, you can try to push, but like you're not gonna just catch somebody at some point unless they totally blow up. But almost it helps you avoid that because the muscle ups go down a little bit, to where it gives you like a little more time to, I guess, rest maybe before more thrusters. But I think, yeah, I mean, I think you'd come out with a game plan that you can do the best at. Like you just have to have a game plan in mind, and whether it wins you the workout or not, like you can't really stray much from it unless it's like those last few sets and you're like you're past the 65 rep mark, and now you kind of have an idea of where you're at, and if you need to push then, like 65 or 70 reps is where you kind of like drop the hammer if you can. But by then, dude, your triceps are destroyed.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like, if I'm talking to Taylor, and he knows this too, he's like, how many points can you gain on Colton before the finale? Because no one's beating Colton on this. Nobody.
No.
Maybe nobody in the world.
Yeah.
Much less anybody at that competition.
Yeah.
He will put on a show though, and I hope he just comes out with a massive set in minute 1, 2, and 3.
How many
and just deals with it. So I was thinking about it last night. 3 ring muscle ups. By the time you get to your bar, it's 10 seconds, and you start. Is it better to do like 6, break 4, walk back to the rings, or is it better to do 12 or 10 or whatever your goal number is going to be, and then rest a little bit, walk back to the rings, and actually treat it as an EMOM where you build some rest in? Like, again, discipline. Like everyone wants to say, yeah, I'm going to go 7.5 the whole time. Like you say you're going to go 7.5 the whole time, but then does 7 become 6, and then does 5 become 4, and then before you know it, you're resting so much. Like it's the last workout of the competition. Do you just do an unbroken set and then just say I'm resting the rest of the minute, or do you break it a lot?
I think you are absolutely on the right track. I think it's an EMOM from the beginning. It's just like I know this could be not true, but I say this a lot. Every marathon is broken. Every marathon record is broken with net.
You still there? I lost you. You turned into a transformer and now you're gone. Now you're frozen. Can anyone see Angelo anymore or hear him? All right, I lost you. You might have to come back in. Zach Gibbon, any thoughts on deficit wall-facing handstand push-ups versus deficit strict handstand push-up in reference comp programming? I don't really understand what this is asking, but my thoughts on deficit wall-facing handstand push-ups are, if there's a safe way for the athlete to get up on top of whatever they're using for the deficit when they're facing the wall, I think it's fine. I think what you see a lot of times is people kind of cartwheeling on top of plates, which is fine. I think starting in a wall walk, if you have levels to walk up, is okay. Personally, I really don't like deficit wall facing. I think wall facing is fine. I think it puts people in a better position as far as those that are trying to learn how to do handstand push-ups. I think people who are really good at handstand push-ups and or have really good shoulder positioning don't find either one of them to be easier or harder. Like the athlete, like when I asked Jason which one's easier, he's like, I think they're the same. So for a deficit, I like to just see old school, like from the regionals workout I posted yesterday, just old school strict handstand push-ups at a deficit. Yeah, that's that. Angelo's calling me right now. Yep.
Hey, my Wi-Fi cut out.
Okay, that's cool.
Did you end the show or no?
No, I didn't end the show. Just tell everyone bye.
Well, how long are you going to be on?
Probably like 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll see if I can come back on for like 2 seconds.
All right, see it. All right, we lost Angelo. He is now taking over for, I don't know, a lot of the legendary bad Wi-Fi people in our space. John Young for a while. Bill is always good for a frozen face every now and then. Yeah. So that's the whole competition. I definitely want to get on with Taylor, maybe Angelo too, and break down the programming after the fact, because I think sometimes you can look at it and then you can watch it play out and you can like it a lot more, or you can like it a lot less. And if Taylor doesn't win, just strap in for a lot of interesting analysis for the workouts. I did talk to him last night though, and he really likes the workouts. He thinks there are a couple things that are kind of weird, but I think that also adds to some excitement and some potential for some people maybe that you don't know of to be like close to the top by the end of the weekend. Bailey Demena, winner of the Crash Crucible 2024 online qualifier. JR, the yoke picture you posted, the yoke was set pretty low. Was that intentional? The yoke was set where it was supposed to be set. What else?
My point made sense.
Angelo, does your wife work outside the home? What does she do?
She's a dental hygienist.
Really?
Yeah, she's right here, so don't say anything bad about her.
No, that's cool. I'm glad you're lucky to have someone that supports you, just like my wife supports me financially. She's a sponsor, so I know exactly how that is. I was wondering if she owned her own business, because if she did, if you're like me, you're not a business person, but you own your own business. And what you need is two things. You need a way for people to find your business if they want to find it. And that's when you need to reach out to someone like Brooks Manley with Brooks Manley Marketing. He's got a special offer going on right now. I'm not gonna tell the details of it. You got to go to his website, brooksmanley.com/scribble/. Once again, that's brooksmanley.com/scribble/. Go to the website. He's got a special offer going on. He specializes in search optimization, in web design. So he can hook you up if you run a business, but you don't really know how to bring people to your business. Hook him, reach out to him. And then also Corey Polito, Proven Business Plans. He is someone who will help you get your business either started or restarted. If you're at kind of a stale place, you know that you need to revamp your pricing. You know that you need to revamp your focus. You know that you need to find a way to reach out to different kind of clients. That's what Corey specializes in. Proven Business Plans, also a sponsor for Crash Crucible. Yes, my segues, Travis, are they're a little bit rough. Some people like them because they're cringe. I honestly think I should just record them and we should just take breaks and play them.
Yeah.
So stay in Taylor's ear about that. All in all, though, from a programming standpoint, before we jump off, when you look at everything, is there a glaring hole that you see? Like, really simply put, for me, I think I added it up. It's 18 ring muscle ups in that workout. It is 8 bar muscle ups, 8 repetitions of some other hanging gymnastics movements. There's 8 bar muscle ups in that EMOM total.
No, I don't think so. I think there's 4.
Oh, 4. I'm sorry. 4 bar muscle ups. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. 8 toes to bar.
8 toes to bar. I don't know how many drop kips, who knows how many people will do. 6 rope climbs. For me, and I am a little bit biased to gymnastics pulling. I am a little bit pull centric. I'm trying to get better about that. But I think so many things in CrossFit are press. Obviously, you have everything inverted. You have burpees. You have push press. You have shoulder overhead variations. There's no loaded pulling in CrossFit unless you're pulling a sled. There's nothing. It's just gymnastics. So I'm a little bit pull centric because of that, because I think you get pressing in a lot of other ways in CrossFit. So for me, I think it's the amount of meaningful pulling volume. You do have the Hercules hoist, right? The pulley hoist. And with the farmer's carry, maybe that'll prove to be like the linchpin of that workout, not the swim. But that's where I come from. I think it's great that they have some odd objects. I would have liked to have seen some dumbbells. I don't remember seeing a dumbbell. I think they have some lifting under some fatigue, which I like. I really don't like a rested 1 rep max, and they have to do something back to back, which is good. Some of the risks, obviously, I wouldn't have taken them, but I can respect the hustle of trying to do some new things. Where are you?
I mean, it seems like there is you say risks, I'll use the word gimmick. There seems like there's a lot of gimmick in it. However, there is a decent amount of classic test, run, lift, run are good. The last 3 by themselves are, I think, I'm back. The last 3 are fine. I'm curious how the seated pulley thing affects the rope climbs, and if that's the reason why the rope climb volume is so low. I don't like them back to back anyways, but that might
or that workout is just supposed to be a sprint, which it starts with the big set of burpees, or it finishes with the big set of burpees. Starts with 21, right?
Yeah, it is going to be a sprint. Yeah.
So like who can hold on for the 21 snatches? Maybe. I mean, maybe 21. Just who can get to the rope first. I don't know. Like it probably isn't. Most of these workouts are fast for sure, and they've usually been fast. There's not a lot of long workouts, but I think that's kind of the identity that they've taken on, where there's not going to be a ton of long grinders. So yeah, it'll, like most competitions. Will the fittest still probably win? Yes. Should that and is that the only goal of a competition? No, to me. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm that. Yeah, there's a few question marks that I still have, but I'll watch till the end of the weekend, and then I probably will have more thoughts. Maybe.
And by watch, you mean you'll watch the leaderboard?
Yeah, I'll watch the leaderboard and I'll look at Instagram stories.
Watch Sevon at night. I'm sure he's going to be doing recaps. Andrew is there. Sevon is there on site. Obviously, Taylor is there. Colton is there. So I'm sure there's going to be some.
How many people call him Andrew?
Probably only me.
Yeah, no one has Andrew. Like I didn't know who you were talking about for 5 seconds.
I call Pedro Peter too, and I don't really know of anyone that calls him Peter but me. I don't know. It's weird.
I didn't.
So my given name is James, and only one person has ever called me James my whole life. I've been JR since I've been born. So it's really weird that like my name is initials. It's my first and my middle name, but it is a nickname. So the fact that like I don't call people sometimes by their nickname is kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has anyone ever called you anything other than Angelo?
Oh yeah.
Like Low, like what? AD,
No.
like what?
Angie. I get Angie a decent amount. My name at work is Chico. A lot of people use Chico. Yeah, Angie and Chico. Probably those are the main two.
Yeah, this black stuff is construction adhesive. I'm sorry for JR disrespectful with the names.
Respectful, not disrespect.
Oh, respectful.
Yeah. You're looking for someone. You're looking for a fight.
That's why I stay out of here, dude. That's why I stay out of here. I don't. Yeah, I have to tell John all the time. His good Christian moral values get tested when he gets into the chats. He needs to relax. Kindness. All right, everybody. Thank you for staying with us, for putting up with us. Crash Crucible, October 10th through the 13th. Please come watch. It is free for spectators or watch online. Sentinel programming. I don't think Angelo is allowed to endorse anything but Mayhem, but Sentinel training is right above his head. Really good stuff. Whether you have 60 minutes, 90 minutes, really good old school CrossFit intensity over volume programming. Good luck to Taylor the rest of the weekend, and we will see you guys later.